So the nominations for this year's Oscars have been announced. It all sort of started at 1:30, but it was quite long-winded. So we have the results for you now. It's not the Oscars, it's the nomination results for you. The space drama Gravity and the con drama American Hustle lead the race, 10 nominations each, including Best Film. British hopes lie with the film 12 Years a Slave, which gets 9 nominations, including Best Actor for its star, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Best Director for Steve McQueen. Now, Dame Judi Dench is up for Best Actress. Steve Coogan has received a nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay. So joining me on the phone now, film critic and expert Sharaz Ali. Afternoon. Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
Afternoon there.
So, good for the Brits, isn't it?
Yes, this year is actually looking quite promising for the British, actually, especially with 12 Years a Slave. And you've got Gravity, technically, cleaning up as well. So it's looking promising.
Are there any surprises, really? Because Gravity, American Hustle, and 12 Years a Slave were all really, they did quite well at the Golden Globes. So, really, any surprises?
Well, I think the Coen brothers have missed out with the Inside Llewyn Davis. That's not been mentioned or picked up much recently, and that's quite surprising because those guys usually always hit the ball on the mark and always get something in, either a nomination or a win. So I believe they've all missed out, and Saving Mr. Banks, which actually did well in the other awards and ceremonies and festivals, but it's not been mentioned here pretty much.
Why do you think that is? I know that the I'd say judges, but those that go through all the nominations, it's a different type of person compared to other awards, isn't it? It's quite an older judging panel, isn't it?
Well, the way it's judged this one is, I think, sorry, before I forget, another film I forgot to mention is All Is Lost with Robert Redford. That person is a personal surprise to me, but that's not really been mentioned in any awards, and it's pretty much, the way to sum it up, is Gravity at sea. And I think the problem there is maybe it's got the Academy snub of it's too similar to Gravity, so let's take it out. That's just me assuming, so don't quote me on that. But I am surprised because it's something that everyone should watch, and it's a well-made film. And as for the voting process, the Academy members, the actors members actually vote. They actually get a bailout, and pretty much they decide who to vote for. And then it goes to a company called PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they pretty much put all these numbers together, and then they seal it in an envelope, and that final envelope, as it's announced now, will stay sealed until the actual ceremony. So no one will know, besides whoever probably sealed that envelope last, who the winner is in that category. So it actually stays secret now. In the past, for example, they would announce it earlier so the press can get it, or the newspapers. But the problem with that is the word always gets out, and with today's technology and everything, by the time the ceremony is about to begin, everyone will know, and you never know, someone might not turn up.
Sure.
There could be all sorts of confusion and complications. So I think it's nice that it's a surprise.
So with the big three, really, Gravity, American Hustle, and 12 Years a Slave, do you see one of those going to walk away with all the awards this year?
I think Gravity will kick a lot of technical Oscars. They'll get, I think, because visually it's amazing, and it's just the 2001 Space Odyssey of our decade. And with the American Hustle and Slave is very close, but I think Slave will just edge over just because of the story and just how everything is. It's just come out of nowhere.
Tell us about the story of 12 Years a Slave. What is that about? Because it's only just coming out of the cinemas at the moment, and people might not quite know what it's about.
Yeah, 12 Years is actually based on a true story. A gentleman living, a violinist, actually living in New York. His name is Solomon Northup. He was actually a free slave. He got enticed to do a job in Washington. They went over to Washington to play a gig, so to speak, and he got kidnapped. He just woke up and he was pretty much in chains and in the slave trade. So there's only so much he could say, because in that situation, as you can imagine, if he says too much, it doesn't look good on him, and if he just gets on with it, he'll be a slave. But as he says in the film, he doesn't want to survive, he wants to live. So he's trying to work his way back up to get his freedom.
So do you think that's going to walk away with all its nominations, or is it going to be the year for Gravity and American Hustle? Go on, tell us.
I think it will be the year for the slave. One, I can't argue with that. It's based on a true story, and there's amazing stories, shot beautifully, great cast and crew. You can't fault it, basically. So I think that also adds another nod to the British connection, and I think that will be a front runner. Then after that, I think it will be the American Hustle, then Gravity. Okay,
great. Well, when do we find out? When's the award ceremony?
It's on the 2nd of March at the Dolby Theatre.
Lovely.
And we got Ellen DeGeneres presenting again for the second time. Last year they had Seth MacFarlane, which I think didn't go down too well with his humour and his style. So I feel bad for him, even though I'm a personal fan of his jokes.
they've kind of gone for the option where maybe because I think he was a bit rude about some of the female members of the audience, wasn't he, last year? So
that's correct.
That's not going to happen this year.
I mean, I think it'd be good for the MTV generation of those awards because that's the generation I watch Family Guy, Ted, etc.
All right, Sharaz. Well, it's great to speak to you. And 12 Years a Slave, that's the one you're going for. We'll see if you're right on March the 1st.